Hey, 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 Speak Easy podcast listeners. It's your host, Altavis Pelzer. Oh my goodness. So when we think about making it happen, can we be honest in saying that sometimes even when you have the plan in order, things happen that will shift the plan. And we kind of have to be ready for it sometimes, right? We can't be ready for every single thing. But when I say being ready, I mean being able to be okay with change and being okay with saying it's about the journey, not always the destination. So, with that being said, I'm excited about this particular episode when we talk to some of the co-authors for the anthology Make It Happen, because man, their stories have been absolutely phenomenal. And listen, they're going to tell you about it. So listen in. You'll definitely want to take some notes, share it out because sharing is caring, and give us your feedback. Why? Because we want to make sure that we are bringing things to you that is going to help you to be successful in life and in business. With that being said, hello, Shawn. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. It's actually all together, by the way, LaRe.
Shawn LaRe. And hello, Judy. How are you?
Hello, I am fabulous. I'm so happy and blessed to be here right now. This is the place to be.
Indeed, indeed. And so I'm going to have these ladies introduce themselves to you guys a little bit, and then we're going to dive into today's topic. So, Shawn LaRue, introduce yourself to the studio audience.
Hello, audience out there for the Speak Easy podcast. I love that title. So my name is Shawn LaRe Brinkley, and I am a licensed marriage family therapist and a transformational performance coach, and I'm in private practice. The name of my practice is Living Loved Pathways to Holistic Healing, and then my coaching practice is Living Loved Coaching. And I work from a holistic perspective because I believe in working with and healing the whole person, not just various aspects of a person. So I'm just excited to be here, and thank you.
Oh my goodness. And so, Judy, introduce yourself to the studio audience.
Well, my name is Judy Ambrose James. I am an author, a speaker, a designer, and by choice. But I am a massive stroke, subdural hematoma, cranioptomy, and a coma survivor between the last 13 years by the grace of God. And I am on a journey, and this, I don't know where it all is taking me, but the last 13 years, it has taken me further than I've been in the 40 years prior to that. So that's just to say, hey, I got a lot more living to do. Thank
you. Y'all, I told y'all this episode was going to be great. Okay. So when we think about Make It Happen, Shawn LaRe, how did that make you feel? Make it happen. What did that mean for you?
So, Altavis, to be honest with you, when I first heard the title that Kern chose for this anthology, I was super excited because I like to consider myself a kind of make it happen girl. Like if I see an opportunity, I'll go after it and I want to make it happen. And so when I have had obstacles in my life, I've just looked up and said, okay, I'm just going to make that happen in spite of this, in spite of that. But as you mentioned, sometimes we get the nudge to go and we have a plan, and other times we are kind of blindsided. And 2021 offered me a challenge and an obstacle that I absolutely could not have been expecting and never, ever even considered as a possibility for my life. So the phrase "make it happen" has taken on a completely new meaning for me at this juncture in my life. I entered 2021 married to an amazing, amazing man who was my soulmate, who was my best friend, who was my ride or die, who got me 100%, who understood and loved all my quirky, and I loved all of his. We were known for the joy that our marriage indicated every time you saw us out together. If you saw us on social media with pictures and videos and just living our lives to the fullest and loving one another and loving God and, you know, kind of chasing the dream together. And as you all know, COVID-19 came in 2020 and kind of halted much of our lives as we knew them. Well, in January, both my husband and I contracted the coronavirus, and I was extremely sick, and my husband was taking care of me. And then he began to show the signs of coronavirus and ended up having to be hospitalized. And 1 week and 3 days later, my king went to be with God. And though I am a believer and my faith is strong, I was halted. I was completely halted. Never expected that. The way that it happened was traumatic. And my husband and I used to pray together for the people who were suffering from coronavirus, who were in hospitals alone, who passed away alone without their family members. And every day he would come home and tell me, baby, it's such a tragedy and so sad how many people had died. And he was that guy who kept up with the numbers. So he would tell me the numbers every day. But Altavis, never in a million years did either of us ever consider that it would come home to our house. And so now when I think of make it happen, I think of how I will make my life happen and count with this loss in the way that honors my husband's legacy and honors our love and our lives together. And so for me now, make it happen has so much more weight than it ever has before. Thank you.
Ooh, I absolutely love that. You know, when we can see what we went through and make it into a mission, a purpose, because there's so much more, and Judy said it, there's so much more living for us to do. And we get to touch so many lives. It's interesting because we look at the positions that we're in and we go, wow, you know, if you would have talked to me 5 years ago, it wouldn't have been, I wouldn't have been even thinking of being in this position. But here we are. And what will we do with where we are?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And then Judy, when it comes to make it happen, what does that, you know, how do you feel when you hear that statement and knowing that that's the title of the book?
Well, for me, oh my God. And that's what I have to say, but God. Because 13 years ago, I had a massive stroke. Now, I had it made. I mean, I really thought I was on top of the world. I was a retail manager at Beau Rivage, Casino Magic, Las Vegas, Victoria's Secret on Las Vegas Boulevard.
Come on now.
And I was good. I was good at it. I was a customer service guru. People came to me, they looked at me, and they were instantly drawn to me. But 2001 2000, I thought was the end of my world. I lost my 18-year-old daughter. I lost my business. I almost lost my home in Katrina and my whole family in this midst of the storm. And then 2007, my massive stroke that took more but gave me more. Y'all, I'm telling it like it is. I have had the best life in these 13 years than I had in all 40 of the ones before it. Because make it happen, what it means to me, I could start in 1 year and keep going. But I chose this year. I chose 2020. And in 2020, I was sitting watching the news, and it was the numbers, like you were talking about, Shawn, LaRe. And I'd sit down and I'd cry. And for everyone who I didn't get to meet and their family didn't get to continue. And I asked God, I said, God, what can I do? And moments later, the words activate faith. Activate faith. God gave me something that was so phenomenal in my mind. How on earth? And I'm saying now, I have faith, so I don't think he's talking, or is he talking to me? Because it's one thing to have faith, but to activate it. Zoom, turn it on like a car engine and rev it up. And that's what he was telling me that everybody was missing. They weren't activating this faith. And that is what I wrote in my chapter. From that moment, I started a group on Facebook called Activate Faith. And I wrote to everyone, calling on everyone to come together and take part in a movement, an Activate Faith movement, solely fueled by love. And I sent that out, and everybody, I started getting people joining and giving me, they were inspiring, they were enlightening, they were bringing scriptures and posters and oh my God. And then on Thanksgiving, before Thanksgiving, I wrote a prayer and I sent it all around the social media and beyond. And I said to everyone on Thanksgiving, let's read this prayer. And I put it's in my chapter. And I'm still hoping that when people read my chapter, they will read that prayer and they will remember, because it's for the victims of coronavirus and everybody else around them, because they are our center. They are our center. And so that's what make it happen means to me. I've got to do what God wants me to do and activate faith. Thank you.
Ooh-wee. It's, man, when I think about activating faith, I think that's what a lot of people struggled with, because we talk about, having the faith, but we don't talk about switching it on. It's like having a lamp and not turning it on, or having a lamp and not having a light bulb for it.
Yeah.
And so there's so much that we can do, and we can see so much clearer when we've gone and activated that faith. And man, the vision that you are given, if you would just take the moment to not only ask, but to sit in a moment and listen.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Speakeasy podcast listeners, I know that when you're in your journey, these are the things that you need. You need that motivation. You need that inspiration. You need to have those conversations about, what this really looks like. And yeah, things may come up and shift everything that you know. But again, where you're going, it's not always about the destination. Sometimes it's the journey that is going to give you the most joy, the most love, the most hope is going to be in that journey. And so I absolutely love that. I didn't always love that. I can tell you, I can be honest and say it. Because at some point I was like, okay, God, now listen. Put the church finger up. Hey, wait. But it's learning those life lessons, so that way you can go and share them with someone else. And so with that being said, Shawn, LaRe, what is one of the lessons that, when it comes to making it happen, what is one of those lessons that you're like, I probably would have been in a better place if I had learned it earlier, but I'm glad I learned it when I did.
Absolutely. So for me, I think that lesson is how to plan the steps toward the journey, getting ready for the journey. Because a lot of my life, I've just kind of hopped into something before building a foundation. And, we know in the Bible, it says a man will not build a home. Would a man build a house without first building the foundation, that it will not stand? And so not only has the lessons in my life given me a foundation, but I'm still called to look ahead and make the plans that will sustain my dream and sustain my vision. And so that's what I've come to at the ripe old age of 61. That at a month, that I think is going to, or has actually made the difference in the things that I embark upon now and attempting to make them happen. So as I sort of make a shift in my business and my life, I'm looking at what my plans are as a result of having lost my husband. It's always to help others, because that's what kind of fuels me, is when I'm doing the work that impacts the lives of someone else. And so that's why, hence I'm a therapist and a transformational performance coach. So my new goal is to help other widows walk this walk, because there are so many things that immediately happen and immediately start going through your mind that were not an issue previously. How am I going to do this? How am I going to, even just financial things, paying the bills? Like, I didn't pay the bills. I paid the Sprint and the cable bill. So now I have a mortgage and homeowners, all these things that are making a difference in my life. And so I have to set the groundwork for sustaining that, while sustaining my business, while helping other people. But the whole idea of helping others is putting my experience kind of on blast, like we're doing here, right? And as Judy has been so open about her journey as well, is because someone is listening who needs to hear how they can come back from whatever obstacles they have faced, whatever walls they have hit, whatever unlimiting beliefs that have been instilled in them, or limiting beliefs that have been instilled in them, and learn what it looks like to live in an unlimited capacity. And so focus and building to do the groundwork is where I have had the greatest lessons that have afforded me the success I'm having now and the success I pray to continue to have.
Oh, I love that. Because we always think about it, it's seed and harvest. It's the seeds that you plant now that will bring forth that harvest later on. And you're like, whew, glad I planted that seed, because you'd be hungry right now if I didn't plant that seed.
Absolutely. And, in my youth, I was just, I didn't want to wait. I wanted it all now. It was like instant gratification. What seed? I just want, give it to me. So, yeah.
I love that. And Judy, what about you? What is one of the lessons that you have learned from that whole concept of make it happen?
Well, I'm going to, I got one over on you, Shawn LaRe. I'm 64 and closer to 65. And I just want to read for a quick minute my motivational beginnings. Countless people seek to be normal. I'm having my best life being different. Oh my goodness. Accept who you are, abnormal, uncommon, and rare. Though a subdural hematoma left me scald on the outside, my mindset has never been clearer. Let us all grow in harmony, helping one another in whatever area God has blessed us with an abundance of knowledge. God has prepared us for anything that may come against us, as he did for many people in the Bible. I am not a scholar, but I'm blessed and highly favored. I have survived near-death experiences more than a few times, not by chance, but by the grace of God. Today, I am a living witness that God is still performing miracles every day. So my prayer to you, Lord, let me impact the lives of those who have given up. And that's what make it happen means to me.
Oh, gosh.
And that's from my book, I Will Never Be Defined by My Limitations.
Ooh. Oh, man. Oh my goodness. When
from
man.
the heart.
Woo.
From the heart.
And we felt it. I know, Speak Easy podcast listeners, I know you felt every bit of that, because when we come into, trying to have a better life, when coming into trying to do business, we always feel as though we're one step behind. We feel we're, behind the 8 ball. Oh, we got to have graphics that look like this, and we got to sound like this on stage, and we always feel like we're trying to catch up.
Yeah.
But if you just take that moment and own who you are, own your space.
Yes, that's right.
Wow, that was rich.
Whew, that right there. It's interesting, because when we think about, the business owners, and when you see the ones that are successful, they own their space. Right. When you see people that are loving life and enjoying every bit of it, they own their space. It's not the ones that try to accommodate or try to, go ahead and transform so they can be no, they own the space they're in. Now, granted, there will be some times where we got to go ahead and change a few things around and, shift some things. Got to let you know those.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
He will not allow you to go. Listen, go somewhere and not be ready for it. So he's gonna make sure you're ready. But
that's right.
Man, owning that, it takes courage. It takes wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you ladies exude both courage and wisdom.
Thank you. Thank you.
You exude it. And it's just such a humbling feeling, because when we think about all that people go through, we don't know everybody's story.
No.
But man, when we find out the stories of those who are not just in front of us, but those who are beside us,
Yeah.
it makes me want to fight more.
Yes.
So I'm like, I'm not just fighting for me. I'm fighting for Shawn and LaRe. I'm fighting for Judy. I'm not just fighting for me. Yeah. I'm not just speaking up for me. And so I like, oh my goodness, you guys are giving me all the feels on this episode. But that just speaks volumes, because I've known far too many who have not shared their story, and they took it to their grave. And man, so many lives could have been changed.
That's what it does. Change someone. If you can just change one person's life for the better, then that one person is going to help change someone else. And it's a dominoes effect.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely. You know what I also think, Altavisa, is leaving the hurt and the pain inside is just not healthy. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not healthy for your mental and emotional health, but studies show that it's not even healthy for your physical health. Mm-hmm. And so I think allowing people permission to use their voice to tell their truth, to speak their truth, and unapologetically, I think that's the opening that people need. And so I think as Judy shares her story of complete triumph and overcoming, there may be someone out there who had a stroke and who has given up, who doesn't believe that there is a possible after a stroke. Then, you know, they're given a vision of what it could be, And for me, widows who have given up after the loss of their husband and believing that their life has to remain changed and I'm sorry, let me clarify. It will be forever changed, but that it has to be a negative impact that comes along with that. And even in the space of grieving, it's just how we choose to grieve and grieving on your own terms and not being influenced by what other people think you should or should not be doing because of your journey. It's like it's your journey and you get to pick and choose and speak loud and cry out loud and scream out loud and love out loud yourself first, and then those who you come in contact with.
Ooh, you hit the nail on the head with that one. Yeah. A vision of what could be. Mm-hmm. Man, that's we far too many times have a vision of what somebody else wants us to be, mm-hmm. of who, you know, what space they want us to be in, who they want us to become. But man, when we get a vision of who we can actually be, it changes everything.
For sure.
Ladies, I want your viewers to know, LaRe, that I'm sitting here looking like $1 million, but I cannot use my right arm nor my right hand. I walk with a quad cane and a hemi walker. I cannot bend my right leg, and I have foot drop, but still I rise, and I can still look like this, sitting here looking like as normal as you two, and still. So I just want, if I can convince one person to imagine beyond their circumstance, if I can motivate someone to get up out that chair and start walking, and if I can convince someone that he is the God of endless miracles and he doesn't need our help, only our activated faith. That's what I say. And that's what I feel. So that I just want to correct, I just want people to know that, hey, it's not all gravy, but it's all great. That's right.
Ooh-wee.
I feel like Judy tried to preach just then.
Listen, you felt it? Somebody passed the collection plate. Oh.
It was there. It was so full.
Mm.
I love life, and you two beautiful women that's full of so much energy, and and we all have knowledge, different from me, you. uh, it's just, and we can't sit on it. We can't selfishly keep it inside, use it just for ourselves. We've got to go out and tell somebody and help. Look, my new name is the Queen of Breaking Expectations. I claim that. I claim it. And so I claim it and I received it, and it's already done.
It is already done. Oh,
already done.
need y'all to, Speakeasy podcast listeners, I need y'all to claim something. I need y'all to, I need you to feel it way down in your belly and claim something, okay?
Yes.
Man,
I'm having so much fun with you two ladies and all of your wonderful viewers. And it's not a good word for me to say, but they know who they are. And I'm glad they're watching.
Oh my goodness. It's such an amazing thing to man, when you see somebody that just loves life, it's so inspiring. It's so like it puts you in a place of saying, okay, let me take my deep breath. You can do this.
Yes.
You got this. And man, you don't allow anything to hold you back. Don't allow anything to deter you from the vision that is for your life. Like, oh my goodness, there's so many things. I'm like, if people can go and buy air, people can go and buy water, people can go. God, we have some valuable things that's going to be out of us. Trust and believe that there's somebody who needs it. Somebody out there needed air. Yes, what we breathe every day.
Yes.
There's somebody that needed it to clean something. There's somebody that needed it for something else. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen when we give what we have, because we don't know everybody's need, but there is somebody that needs it.
Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely. And Shawn, LaRe, from the first time I heard you speak, I was drawn to you. And I just want to say to you, you make it happen and don't stop it, because what you have, I am drawn to you. So I can imagine what everyone, so many others feel. I am so saddened by your story, but I am so uplifted by you, the person, the woman that just got so much inside that she has to let it out. So I love you, and keep doing what you're doing. Don't let anyone, no enemy, no anybody stop what you're doing.
Thank you. Judy, you're my new big sister now.
Okay.
I appreciate your saying that. Thank you so much. I feel when you said, Altavis, that there are people that you can tell how much they love life. And I think that I can see that in Judy. And I know that many people who have called to comfort me, to check on me, have said that they could see so much life in my husband and I together and individually. My husband was the guy that knew everybody's name at the grocery store. He's a guy that could get you to give him anything he asked for because he was so charming and so uplifting. He said things like, if we were on the phone with a telemarketer and they finished the sale, he would say, the altitude of our attitude does not reflect the latitude of our gratitude. And they would just laugh and they would love it. If you asked him how he was doing, he would say, no personal questions on Tuesday. And you would laugh. And there was just so much life that we had together. And he was such a support to me in everything that I wanted to do. He talked as much as I do. And we loved life so much together. And I know that I am left here with the purpose of continuing to show what life after loss looks like, and that it can look like joy and it can feel like joy, because the grief that I feel in my heart and soul is colored by the joy that I felt in our love and our relationship. And we together will embark on this journey. Judy, I will support you, and I thank you for your kindness and what you've said. You inspire me. You are a living and walking beautiful miracle, and I'm so grateful to know you.
The same here. And we're going to do something together because we're going to be a tribe.
That's
tribe. Right. Yes, we are. And Elder, are you seeing me? Okay. You too. You too.
Yes, I'm over here like fighting back tears because I'm like, oh my goodness.
And thank you for the platform. It's wonderful, and it is very easy to speak here. So the title is perfect.
Yes, I love creating the atmosphere where, man, people get what it is that they need and they can share, and it's great because people, again, it's being able to share people's voices, share their stories. Mm-hmm. And the Speakeasy audience may not have known who Shawn LaRe was or who Judy was before today, but after today, oh, they're going to be looking.
What all they have to do is come to activate faith and join, and I tell you what they will get from there is priceless. So that's where they can find me.
Awesome. And where can they find you at, Shawn LaRe?
So I'm on Instagram as at Living Loved Healing. And that's, the little @ Living, LIVING, loved, LOVED, healing, HEALING. The same on Facebook, as well as my full name, Shawn LaRe Brinkley. That's SHAWN. LaRe is LA, capital RE, with an accent again, and Brinkley, BRINKLEY. And my websites are livinglovedhealing.org for therapy. So if you have mental health issues, trauma issues there, and coaching, if there's some fears that you have, some unlimiting beliefs that are standing in your way and holding you back from making it happen, then holla at me. Check me out at www.livinglovedcoaching. And you can email me at ShawnLaRe@livinglovedcoaching. So thank you so much, Altavis. And thank you, Judy, for your loving spirit.
You're welcome. Altavis, I did forget to tell y'all that I do have a online store, Judy Smiles and Gifts. And my first t-shirt, and I was in a wheelchair in the park selling these. If you can't find a reason to smile, borrow mine. And everybody loved that shirt. And nobody had any excuse not to smile that day. Because when they read that shirt, if you can't find a reason to smile, borrow mine, they smile. I was responsible for more smiles that day. So I'm JudySmilesAndGifts.com.
I
Thank
love that. Oh my
you.
goodness. Speak Easy podcast listeners, this has been, man, an amazing episode. I am so thankful that these ladies came on to share with you guys. Make sure that you be on the lookout for Make It Happen. Make sure that you get the book, read the book, and review the book.
Yeah.
Because, guys, these are just a few of the amazing stories that are in this anthology, and I know that they're going to make an impact in your life. Remember, there's something that we can take from every story that we can use for business and for life. With that being said, I am your host, Altavis Pelzer, and this has been another episode of the hashtag Speak Easy podcast. Guys, let us know how this resonated with you, because guess what? It's all about the Speak Easy podcast listeners. And you can do that by leaving us a review on your favorite podcasting platform or joining the conversation, bit.ly/World Voice Community. We would love to see you there, because guess what? We all need a little bit of extra something sometimes. And the Speak Easy podcast is here to give you that. With that being said, I appreciate you guys. And until next time, don't forget to press it out. See ya.